Well guys, I'm so excited, but it is finally time for Goodwood Festival of Speed 2023. Got here really early this morning, so there aren't too many cars in the supercar parking yet, but let's head into the show to show off some new car reveals. I am so happy to be here. Honestly, this is probably my favorite car event in the entire world. Check this out, guys. First time seeing the new Revuelto in person. This is absolutely epic. It's the successor to the almighty Lamborghini Aventador. Let's look at the back end. And it is a V12 hybrid, 6.5 liter V12 with 3 electric motors, making 1,001 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, and a pretty cool bright orange spec. Brand new interior as well, updated screens. What do you guys think? I love this fully exposed engine bay. There's literally no glass covering the engine whatsoever. These fighter jet style exhausts. How crazy is this, guys? The V10 powered track only Solus GT by McLaren, that exposed suspension in the front. Look how tight that cockpit is. This is one of the craziest looking cars they've ever made, and the fact that it has a 10-cylinder engine was totally out of nowhere. I've heard it's actually pretty easy to drive as well, which is very impressive for a track car that looks this intense. We got to see one of these Valkyries at the event the other day on the track, the AMR Pro, which is the track-only variant of this car. I mean, this is the pinnacle of automobiles of the modern era, with a naturally aspirated V12 derived from race cars. And we can see in the road car, look at that, this one's a roadster. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the interior. How crazy is the Valkyrie interior? These super thin carbon fiber buckets. He's holding the steering wheel over there. It's been removed from the car. Massive roof scoop, crazy rear wing. And then I love the Venturi tunnels. You can see all the way through the car for extra downforce. And then on the coupe, we've got these insane butterfly doors, and check out that gorgeous engine absolutely crammed in the back. I mean, it really doesn't get better than this. We've only been at the event for like 20-30 minutes and already seen the craziest hypercar. So last year at Goodwood Festival of Speed, we saw the McMurtry Spearling fan car set the record for the hill climb. Now they've come back with a track-only car that you can actually buy. Now, unfortunately, this End Vision is just a concept car, but Hyundai needs to design some cars that look like this for the road. This was honestly a total shock when they debuted this. Such a good looking retro modern supercar. Look at those taillights. That is so sick. We're over in the Ferrari section, which I always find hilarious. It's the only manufacturer that puts ropes in front of their cars so that you can't walk around them, which I just will never understand. But later on, we will see the KC23, which is a one-off track-focused car that's based on the 488 GT3. Check this out, one of my favorite new hypercars, the SP3. Man, this is absolutely gorgeous. It's essentially a naturally aspirated version of the LaFerrari with even cooler looks, arguably. Another look at the 812 Competizione that we just reviewed. If you missed that video, make sure to check it out. That beautiful 6.5 liter V12, all of that carbon fiber. Absolutely gorgeous triple yellow on this SF90 Spider. I believe this is the same color as the Speciale Aperta that I had, Giallo Triplo Strato. All right, guys, here it is, making its debut at Goodwood Festival of Speed, the RS Spider, which is the Boxster version of the Cayman GT4, featuring that naturally aspirated flat six from the GT3. Finally, they are not afraid to put a killer powertrain inside of their Boxsters and Caymans. Starts at $162,000, and imagine open top experience with a GT3 motor in the back and a manual transmission, and just look at those intakes right by your head. So this was arguably the best sounding car last year up the hill at Goodwood. So much louder than the Regera or the Agera RS. Honestly, impressively so. The looks on the Jesko are insane. This is the attack version with that massive rear wing. They also have an Absolute, which has a higher top speed. Man, this thing is incredible. How epic is this? They're running the Valkyrie motor right now, doing some testing. That is so epic. Look at the screens on the interior. Now, how crazy is this, guys? The track-only version of the Chiron, the Bugatti Bolide. It's got that 8-liter quad turbocharged W16. In this case, it's got 1,825 horsepower and allegedly a top speed of 311 miles an hour. Let's take a look at that interior. That is absolutely insane. Look at the steering wheel. Some of the craziest design language of any cars ever. Imagine if somebody road legal converts this thing and drives it on the street. Just look at the size of that roof scoop. Let's get a load of the rear wing. Oh my gosh, look at the tailpipes as well. And then look at this, guys, the Bugatti Bolide track-only version of the Chiron. This is insane. I had the pleasure of driving the Rimac Nevera thanks to the Triple F collection. This is the fastest accelerating car I've ever experienced. 0 to 60 in 1.74 seconds. This thing is absolutely insane. Having just reviewed the Wyra BC Roadster, I can't imagine what the track-only version of the car, the Wyra R, is like to drive. More extreme aero, more horsepower, naturally aspirated V12. This thing sounds insane and was one of the best sounding cars at Goodwood Festival of Speed last year. Just look at that steering wheel and the aero in the back. And then this is not debatable how gorgeous it is. The Zonda Revoluzione. Look at that full exposed carbon fiber, Italian flag decals, roof scoop on the top. This is one of my favorite cars of all time. Now check this out, guys. This is the Farina Battista, except this is the Nino Farina edition. Only 5 of them are being made in different color schemes. It's based on the Rimac Nevera. It's got a little less horsepower at 1,877. Can you imagine that being a little bit less, and a slightly lower top speed? But it is absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, I think this car is better looking than the Rimac. Let's get a look at the interior. It's got these rear aero flaps that pop up, which look really, really cool. And the interior of this thing is definitely prettier than the Nevera. You know an event is insane when there's not actually that many people standing around the AMG 1 right now. We got to see this go out on the track, but this is one of the coolest looking hypercars ever made with a Formula 1 derived engine. It's legitimately got the Formula 1 engine from a winning car that Lewis Hamilton drove. How sick is that shark fin connected to that massive roof scoop? And then over here, another one of the best sounding cars in the world, the Gordon Murray T50. It's a 3-seater hypercar that's effectively the spiritual successor to the McLaren F1. Look at that roof scoop up there, that central seating layout that is so awesome. And then one of the craziest parts about this car is it's got this fan on the back for extra downforce. First time seeing the RollsRoyce Specter in person, effectively the all-electric new version of the Rolls-Royce Wraith. Having owned a Wraith, I'm very curious to see what this thing is like to drive. While electric supercars and hypercars are a bit sad, for something like a Rolls, it actually makes all the sense in the world. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the interior. This color scheme is absolutely insane. Really cool digital screens. They've modernized the interior a bit. What do you guys think? Check this out, guys. Zinger, an all-new hypercar company with an awesome VMax. Look at this. One seat there and a seat behind it. This company is really cool. They 3D print a lot of parts, which they've actually got some examples over here. Look at that exhaust. It goes up vertically, top-mounted exhaust. I think these are some of the prettiest designed hypercars as a new car company I have seen in a long time. Just look at the vent work for cooling this beast. Okay, Koenigsegg just stunned the world with the production version of the Gamera. Instead of having that 3-cylinder as the only engine option making 1,700 horsepower, they've now released a twin turbocharged V8 version making 2,300 horsepower. It's quite possible this is going to be the quickest accelerating and fastest top speed hypercar of all time when it's released. Look at that, a 4-seater family car with carbon fiber buckets. That is just so epic. Those doors are absolutely massive. This green color in pictures online didn't look the best, but in person, it is absolutely stunning. I am in absolute hypercar heaven right now. We first saw this at Quail last year, the CC850, and we got to see it lap the track in the pouring rain at the event the other day. This thing has one of the craziest gearboxes of all time. It's both a manual and a 9-speed dual clutch transmission at the same time, and it sounds absolutely incredible. I'm excited to see this go up the hill climb. Just a stunning car. Well, guys, I think that's a perfect time to end the first video. I'm going to be making so many videos from Goodwood, you're going to be annoyed by the end of it, but there's so much cool car content here. It's ridiculous, and we haven't even seen the hill climbs yet and some of the hypercar reveals. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.